I want to pay my respects to the Wathaurong people, their elders past and present. They're part of the Kulin Nation. They're the original custodians of the land that we are standing on. And I also want to acknowledge that Janine Blackmore has a birthday today, so happy birthday, Janine. I'd like to take some highlights out of my report rather than read it to you. You've got the report there, so I commend that to you to read, either so that you're not so bored listening to me, or sometime later you think I've got something interesting to say. And then to share a couple of new initiatives that we want to embark on in the coming months. First of all, I just want to go over social inclusion. Last year we introduced the public policy concept of social inclusion, and there's probably a few of you attending tonight who attended last year who might recall that Megan Peacock did an address on social inclusion. And we shared at that time with you how we wanted to place that concept at the core of all of the activities we were engaged in, with particular attention to how we work alongside our clients and our communities. The past 12 months has seen us broaden the audience of supporters for this concept beyond St Lawrence. Social inclusion can be a key driver to deliver more efficient and effective social services to many disadvantaged or disengaged residents of Geelong. Our joint work with G21 to convene a regional social inclusion conference in April of this year signalled the beginnings of a more inclusive, conscious community here in Geelong. We will, as St Lawrence, will continue to champion social inclusion internally and externally over the coming year. And I do want to thank Megan Peacock, who has delivered persistent and consistent messages about what social inclusion is, but also what social inclusion is not. And she's managed to do that with great enthusiasm since joining us in mid-2009. Our people, obviously one of the core components of our strategic plan, the people who make up our workforce. They are our lifeblood. I think in the last 12 months, the reporting period, we have worked hard to ensure all of our employees have the opportunity to work in a flexible work environment in order to balance family and work commitments. And over the past 12 months, we made considerable progress in progressing an internal career pathway structure for our workforce. The coming year will see a comprehensive staff training and development regime put in place. And the aim of this is to retain and grow the skills of our staff. Something that we're very conscious of as the region and I guess all of Australia ages. Of course, we honour our many volunteers who support our work and who walk alongside many of our clients, bringing them companionship, respect and hope for a future. And I do want to mention one volunteer in particular at this public meeting, and that's Mrs Edna Edge. She does deserve a special mention for the valuable role she's played as a volunteer at Costa House, our nursing home, for over 22 years, and early this year was nominated amongst the 4 or 5 people across Victoria for being receiving the award for the Volunteer of the Year in the aged care industry, and was the runner-up in that. So well done, Edna. I know that it's probably a bit late for her to be appearing today, but if we could just convey our thanks to her, that would be appreciated, I think. So let's talk about our community for a little while. The board of directors and the members of St Lawrence really act as the community. There's the Geelong, the Colac, the Horsham, the Warrnambool community representatives within the organisation of St Lawrence. And we, the staff, we look to them for strong strategic guidance and to ensure that the organisation's focus is trained towards assisting communities and individuals to help themselves and to gain more independence. The reporting period has been an especially busy period for the directors of the board. It has determined that a shared purpose of the board and the executive staff is to secure the long-term future of St Lawrence. We want to be able to help people help themselves into the long term. This requires diligence. It requires diligence to ensure planning processes stretch beyond the near horizon. And indeed, the board, having just finalised the 3-year strategic plan, is already thinking beyond those 3 years. This strategic approach is being growing in momentum as the board gains a much solid understanding of the operations of the human services and the various types of business that we deliver. As Jeff Williams has mentioned, we've done very well financially. We also do need to acknowledge that many of the government contracts that we are in receipt of do not keep pace with the CPI increases or increases in industry annual salary levels. Very few offer stability beyond the funding cycle, many of which are only 12 months. And I just note here that such commercial arrangements would be rejected by other sectors of the economy, as is evidenced by a complete lack of interest in undertaking this work historically displayed by our for-profit colleagues. And recognising that and balancing trying to do good with a limited wallet is very difficult, and something that the board is very well aware of in terms of securing our long-term financial future. I guess the other thing that has become more apparent to the board and to the executive is that the scope of potential risk in today's world of environment and human service organisations like St Lawrence continues to increase. And so we need to be vigilant in recognising that and dealing with the risk as it arises. And the third pillar that I just want to touch on is our clients, our culture of service to the clients. We exist, and we exist only to service our clients. As a collective workforce, we pledge to ensure the support services delivered by St Lawrence are the right ones for each individual who comes to us for assistance and advice. In the coming year, we plan to embed the philosophies of client-directed care and active service models in an environment where clients feel empowered to make their own choices. I now want to highlight some new initiatives designed to promote the work of our supported employees in particular, who are an integral part of our workforce. Over the last months, we have been redesigning our brand for these services, and I just want to bring those to your attention now. So we have the Purple Paper Service, we have Colac Ironing Services. You can see that purple's a fancy colour. We've got Integrated Property Management, which is our service that does outside work, property maintenance. We've got the Pickle Gallery. Not quite sure how Angela managed not to have purple on that, and we've got Art Unlimited. So some of all these activities have previously existed, but we have gone out with a strong motive to promote these more strongly in the community and to make them much more viable businesses, and to bring a sense of achievement and integration and engagement with many of the people who work there for us. These brands and their respective business activities have two aims. One is to increase our business share in these product areas, so we're going to do well, we've got to do better. And secondly, to act as a beacon for the pursuit of dignity within our workforce. Another very significant planning initiative that is close to being completed so that a new level of services can be offered to people with disabilities seeking to acquire independent living skills is St Lawrence's curriculum framework. And we're hoping to publicly launch that in November. This curriculum has been designed to incorporate a mixture of fully accredited education with practical everyday life skills and learning pathways which will be consumer driven. So these things are very exciting, and I hope that you look forward to those being launched in the public space in the coming weeks. In conclusion, I extend my gratitude and thanks to all of the staff for all that they do for us. I do regular roadshows around our sites, and one of the things I'm always at pains of trying to ensure that I always do is just to thank the staff for doing what they do every day. It is, in some cases, very difficult work, and often we can take our workforce for granted. So it's something that I think our executive staff and myself are very aware of, is to go out on site. Also, people get nervous when the CEO turns up unannounced, but they're getting used to it, just to go out and say good day and see how people are going. I want to thank the executive, my executive colleagues, the general managers, and people that support the office of the CEO and the activities of our service people out on the ground, for the leadership and the vision that they bring to their work. And finally, but by no means least, to the directors of the company, of the board, of the association, for the direction, the stewardship and advice that they bring to me as the CEO and to the wider St Lawrence community, and particularly to Don as the chairperson. Being a chair of an organisation as large as ours and as complex as ours, which has a range of quite significant service delivery presence across quite a variety of range of service areas, is difficult for the CEO to keep pace with after 27 years in the industry. It's something, again, to ask the layperson to try and get their heads around some of the complexities and the complications, and to do that and not feel worried because it's a little bit out of their reach. And we know that engineers have a particular mindset about how they bring a focus to their work. So I would like to, on my own behalf, and I think on behalf of the board, to thank Don singularly for the great work that he does and the great time that he gives to us. I know he's retired, but gee, there must be some days he thinks, if that bloody O'Connor sends me one more email, I'm going to stop his BlackBerry or his iPhone. So thanks